Of the Opposition.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Energy and Environment. Minister, yesterday the Deputy Premier blamed your department's National Parks and Wildlife Rangers for contributing to the bushfires by not conducting enough hazard reduction burning. Do you agree with him?
Read the paper. He's already
Minister.
said what he thinks. I read it this morning. It's very good.
Minister.
Thank you, Mr Speaker, and can I thank the Leader of the Opposition for her question. And can I start by putting on the public record my appreciation for the outstanding work being done by the brave men and women right across our community that are putting themselves in harm's way at this very difficult time. Can I also state that today is not the day for political point scoring. There is plenty of time. There is plenty of time.
Order, please.
Mr Speaker, there will be plenty of time for a review after the danger has passed. And there's plenty of time for a debate to be had about what we can do better if improvements can in fact be made. And certainly in the National Parks and Wildlife Service, we will look to improve our performance and follow up any recommendations that come from a full review. Where we can do things better, we will. Mr Speaker, this House knows the incredible danger that the people on the front line put themselves in protecting our community. And I want to acknowledge the over 400 staff from National Parks and Wildlife that are on the front line at the moment, defending fires, defending the community, defending people, not fighting fires on parks, not fighting fires just started on parks, but helping protect the community. They are outstanding, brave men and women doing an incredible job at the moment, Mr Speaker. And as I said, it is disappointing to think that anyone would use these bushfires to push a political agenda, Mr Speaker. Mr Speaker, this is a very serious situation in the state, and we have all our firefighters out there on the front line risking their lives, Mr Speaker. And I want to get on the record some facts. Mr Speaker. Since 2011, we've increased the number of firefighters in the National Parks and Wildlife Service from 1,050 to 1,226. This is an increase of 100.
Leader of the Opposition, you rise on point of order.
Mr Speaker.
I do, Mr Speaker. It's 129. The question related very specifically to comments by the Deputy Premier and whether the Minister agrees with him, and it was in regard to National Parks and Wildlife Rangers contributing to the bushfires.
Thank you. And the Minister has actually addressed that issue and is continuing to be relevant. Please.
I just want to get some facts on the record, which is what I'm trying to do. The reality is that National Parks and Wildlife last year, in the last fire season, have done hazard reduction burns to 137,000 hectares of national parks across New South Wales. And that exceeds the state's rolling average that we target in National Parks and Wildlife of 135,000 hectares, Mr Speaker. Mr Speaker, what I will also say is that the National Parks and Wildlife Service have contributed over 75% of all hazard reduction burns across New South Wales. And that's more than every other single government agency combined, Mr Speaker. So the National Parks and Wildlife Service are doing an incredible job, and they are doing their bit, Mr Speaker. And I want to note again that there are 400 National Parks and Wildlife staff out there on the front line today defending property and defending people, working as part of a concerted effort to keep our community safe, Mr Speaker. Mr Speaker, I also want to get on the record that this government has provided the resources for National Parks and Wildlife to help fight these fires, Mr Speaker. National Parks and Wildlife have 5 aircrafts and 355 firefighting vehicles. We've committed $125.9 million over 4 years to upgrade the fire trail network in New South Wales, Mr Speaker, to make it easier for our firefighters to access the areas that they need to ensure that we do the hazard reduction and to ensure that we fight these fires where necessary, Mr Speaker. Last year, as I said, we backburned 137,000 hectares.
Leader of the Opposition rises. Point of order.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. 129. The question was, do you agree with him? It's a simple yes or no.
And the Minister,
do you agree with the Deputy
Minister
Premier?
is being relevant to the question. Thank you. Please continue, Minister.
Mr Speaker, what I agree with is the incredible work being done by National Parks and Wildlife Service to make sure that our community is safe at this time, to make sure we not only protect our environment, but we also protect people and property in New South Wales, Mr Speaker. We've got 400 firefighters on the front line at the moment, Mr Speaker, and rather than politicise this, Mr Speaker, we should be doing everything that we can to focus on keeping people safe at this difficult time. The danger has not yet passed, Mr Speaker. It is inappropriate for us to be playing politics at this time. What is appropriate is that we all focus our energy in ensuring people and property are safe.
Member for Coffs Harbour.
Mr Speaker, my question is directed to the Premier. Can the Premier update the House on the devastating